Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode. Today we are starting a new series on the channel looking at cryptocurrency in gaming. Today we're taking a look at why I think it is going to be the future of gaming. It has so much potential, and we're going to be looking at the pros and cons versus the currency that we already have in game. If you're new to the channel and you're interested in cryptocurrency in gaming, make sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all the future content. I'm going to be doing some in-depth analysis of all the upcoming games in the cryptocurrency world. Don't worry if you are already subscribed to the channel. I will be continuing my mobile content, Mario Kart Tour and Harry Potter. So don't worry, I'm just doing a little bit extra on the channel. Cryptocurrency is booming this year and last year. Everybody knows what Bitcoin is, but below Bitcoin, there are a ton of other cryptocurrencies that be created. And in particular, there are ones that are now being created within gaming. So one sign towards why cryptocurrency is going to be big in gaming in the future is this acronym, NFT. Stands for non-fungible token, and it's basically a digital receipt to say that you have purchased and own this copy of whatever it is. The most notorious example of this is Beeple, who sold this for $69 million. We have things like the very first tweet selling. We have recently the meme with the girl and the burning house in the background. That sold for $500,000. And it's done something. It's created hype around something where we now put value on digital copies of something, digital ownership. Now, currency isn't new to gaming. At the moment, we have a lot of in-game currency, such as Fortnite has V-Bucks, games I play with Harry Potter has gems, Mario Kart Tour has rubies, all of which can be used to buy things like gachas. So in Mario Kart Tour, you buy pipes, you can buy customizations, so Fortnite, you can buy different skins, and they can even be used to upgrade units and weapons to make you stronger or give you that competitive edge within games. So it's not new to games, except one of the biggest difference between cryptocurrency and in-game currency is that when you purchase currency, like say pounds or dollars, you can no longer transfer that currency back into dollars and pounds. Cryptocurrency is different in that you can purchase said items and you can then later transfer it back into your currency. So you no longer lose the value in terms of dollars and pounds with whatever you purchased. It becomes something, an asset that you might be able to trade, not only for what you paid for, but also that it could increase in value over time. So what I want to do is to take an in-depth look at the positives versus the negatives of in-game currency versus the positives and negatives of cryptocurrency. And potentially towards the end, you may be on board with my thinking in that cryptocurrency is going to be the way forward within gaming. So the positives of in-game currency. A major thing is that it's free to play. Players don't need to buy assets to be able to play the game. You don't need to spend money necessarily to play the game. Just spending will give you a competitive edge and help you to upgrade things quicker. In-game currency helps you to purchase things that make your character unique, that improve your experience of the game. So you can go around wearing a certain customization or costume that you feel fits you best or that you like. And I think that connects users to the game a lot more. And you can do that all with in-game currency. Another positive of in-game currency is that it allows you to purchase things like gachas, which are a random reward. Now, if you have infinite amount of that supply of in-game currency, you could buy, like, let's say there's 100 in a box and you're buying 10 and there's a 1% chance that you'll get a legendary or an epic. When you don't have that much and you can only buy 10, I feel like it makes it even more exciting when you get that reward. So in-game currency really helps to create those exciting moments where you get new things. A really important positive of in-game currency is that it takes your money and feeds it into the company who are creating it. Yes, they are a business and they will take profits, but you got to remember that money will also go to pay the wages of the people who create the game and will be continuing to create the game and making further developments and upgrades and updates that make the game better. But there are negatives to in-game currency. The biggest negative of in-game currency is pay to win. Pay to win means that people can purchase the in-game currency and get an edge on all the other players, speed up building time, increase and upgrade your characters, and by doing that, all those free-to-play players, they sit at the back and don't have any chance of competing. Now, some games do balance this quite well. Some games actually don't have a pay-to-win aspect, but those that do, they get better rewards, and therefore, people who are actually just trying to play free-to-play and grind a lot and play a game and might be really good at the game don't ever get that reputation because they just don't have the money to put into the game. Pay-to-win is less incentivized because if you pay for something, if you put loads of money into that, you're not going to get it back. You're only going to earn rewards and reputation within the game. That may be helpful for YouTubers. So potentially YouTubers do, and I have in the past, spent more on games to create a video, and therefore I get the money back in that way. But if you are not going to get that money back, if you're spending £1,000, you've got to think, well, I'm not actually going to be able to get that £1,000 back, so I'm less incentivized to spend so much on the game. Another thing that I particularly don't like in a lot of games is the inability to trade items. So if I've got something and somebody else has something that I want, and I've got a duplicate, say, I want to be able to trade my duplicate with somebody else's so that I can get the item. Businesses are not incentivized to do this because then you are not going to pay to potentially get that character in the future or have a random drop with a chance to get it. So trading is often disabled within games. Some do offer it and it works really well, but as you can see from a business point of view, that's not going to help them, and I don't think that's something that's going to change within the in-game currency world. Now, going back to an early point I made, a negative of it, money goes to the business that you spend, okay? That goes to pay the wages of the people developing the game, but sometimes you see this abused. The business becomes more of a priority than the actual game itself. Games do cash grabs, or they put offers on that are unfair. They increase the price compared to what they've usually done. Sometimes they even restrict the free-to-play game rewards that you were able to get, and it pressurizes players to spend more to be able to compete. That's something that I don't like in-game currency gaming. Through experience of playing game, I've got to say that's one of the main things that I absolutely hate in mobile gaming and online gaming is when you see a cash grab, when you see the business take more priority than the quality of the game itself. And finally, when you stop playing the game. I've played so many games over the years and spent a fair amount of money in them, and now I don't play them anymore. They have value, so some of the things that I've done and earned, say like Pokemon Go, some of the things I've captured, they have value, but I can do nothing with them, so they just sit in my account doing absolutely nothing. And after you've played a lot of mobile games, I started to learn not to spend money because of that fact, because I know eventually I will go off a game and switch on to something else, and I won't be able to do anything. And that brings us nicely onto cryptocurrency in gaming. Now, in cryptocurrency, that problem is fixed. The items and characters that you get are NFTs. You own them, and therefore they have real-world value that you can use. Now, we already see this on OpenSea Marketplace for a lot of games that have been around for a while in the cryptocurrency world. Some of the items are worth so much. We're talking like over 1 Ethereum, which is over $2,000. So things that you earn, you can really make a lot of money off. And trading opens games up so much in that if you get duplicates, things that you don't need but are still really good and have value, but you won't be using it all, you can put that on, say, OpenSea Marketplace and sell it, and somebody else can buy that. And then with that money, potentially you can purchase something that you do need, and therefore completing maybe your squad that you want that makes you more powerful and helps you to win. And because these things have really high value, you could potentially live off the money that you make within a game. Getting paid to play a game. Come on, that's every kid's dream. Another great positive in cryptocurrency gaming is that it's decentralized. That means ownership doesn't just fall to the developers, it falls to people who own the currency and invest in the game. That means they can vote on decisions. So if they want to take a game in a certain direction, you can vote on whether you want it to do that or not. I think that just connects the community to the game a lot more, that in a way we haven't seen before. Usually it's feedback through forums and complaints of saying, why have you changed this feature, change it back. Whereas actually, if we have the control to be able to say ahead of time, that's not something we want in the game, you avoid all those problems and can start to say, this is where I want you to focus on. And the game will upgrade in a way that the masses will enjoy more. As games become more popular, the cryptocurrency tends to increase in value. So Axie Infinity has small love potions as a currency that's used to upgrade things. That just recently went up 1000%, 10x. So if that was valued at, I think it was like $3, it went up to $30 per one. And, you know, if people have been stocking that up, hoarding it, you can sell that off and make a lot of money. Now, when you become really good at a game, there are in-game rewards. And those things can be funded by the cryptocurrency itself. Sometimes a percentage of the token goes into a fund where there will be in-game rewards, ranking rewards. And so the game My DeFi Pet has $100,000 already ready there as a prize fund. So that means, you know, regular rewards are going to be coming in games, and that's probably going to be the same and similar in other games that come out. Now, another big positive is free to play can become play to earn. So you don't have to spend money on some games, and you can just keep playing and you will be earning currency that you can transfer back into real money. And the difficulty with that, though, is that when you start out, some games require you to purchase an NFT or own something to be able to play the game. And some of the NFTs that you do own will give you a good boost in the game. But still, if you just want to play a game and earn some money along the side of it as a just extra bonus, it's a really good thing. And then finally, one thing that I really enjoy is that if you invest in a game from the beginning, because you are invested financially, there's this really good connection between their social media and their marketing companies and the community themselves. We see this in Discord forums, Twitter. The social media tends to be better, I feel, around the game because you want to keep them, the investors, holding the coin. And therefore, you do things that incentivize people to hold the coin. So extra rewards going into the game. They do things like airdrops. They hold Ask Me Anythings in Telegram, and they'll give in-game rewards, currency potentially in the future, NFT drops, or even real-life currency, dollars. And that just makes for a better gaming community, I feel. That connection means that there's already an open communication saying, this is something that works in the game. This is something that needs changing. Bugs get picked up quicker. So I see that already happening in the cryptocurrency space and think it's a lot better. Whereas in the gaming community outside of cryptocurrency, it tends to be, you know, silence one tweet, silence a little update, silence here's the release date. Not a lot of communication in between those developments of the game. But there are negatives in the cryptocurrency space as well. Now, a big negative, in some games, it does require you to own an NFT to be able to play the game from the start. As I've said, you might get free NFTs if you invest or enter into some competitions. But if you don't, you're not going to be able to play the game at all. Now, that limits people to playing, and I think especially under 18s, where they're probably less likely to own a cryptocurrency wallet, let alone a bank account. And that means potentially you're missing out on a huge audience of people, and you're going to be getting more over 18s coming into it, which isn't a small space. You know, a lot of my channel is over 18s. So I don't think it's missing out too much, but I think it does limit those people who may actually want to play the game but don't have access to a cryptocurrency wallet. Another thing that I think will limit the audience is that cryptocurrency can be a bit of a confusing world. I spent the last couple of months getting my head around it, and there's a lot of complex layers to it. You can send currency to the wrong address. You can send it along the wrong chain, and you can lose that money. So that becomes a bit of a daunting part of the cryptocurrency world that some people might be put off by, and therefore not even start in entering into that world to be able to purchase things, to be able to play the games. However, I will say there are so many guides on the internet of how to use and purchase and transfer cryptocurrency. And if you're patient and follow those guidelines, learn all about it before you make big transactions, you'll probably avoid any of those mistakes, and you'll do start to feel more comfortable with it as you gain more knowledge around it. Now, as we mentioned, pay to win is a negative of in-game currency, and that's still going to be a problem in cryptocurrency, because people are going to be able to buy more powerful NFTs, and those NFTs will give them an advantage in the game, advantage in the rankings, and they might be more likely to come first and get that currency back, which helps them invest more into purchasing better NFTs or upgrades. And, you see the whales, that cycle happen where they just stay at the top and they keep earning money. And it means that other people are less incentivized to play because they don't have, they're constantly at a disadvantage. However, there are games out there that balance this quite nicely so that pay to win doesn't become as much of a thing in their games. Now, it is a positive that as you play the game, the cryptocurrency will likely increase in value, but that makes it more expensive to use the currency and purchase it in the future. So something that you may have spent $30 on opening a crate may increase in value. If that 10x's, it now becomes $3 to open that crate. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword in the value it might increase. So it can be a bit of a double-edged sword in that if you own the currency, it will increase in value. But if you don't own it and you enter the game late, you're probably entering at a time where that currency is very expensive compared to what people paid at the start. I recently was involved in an IDO for Revomon, and that began at $0.03, so 3 cents. And that's now valued at 30 cents. It even increased to $2 at one point. So what I paid very little for now is 10 times more expensive, and that value will increase further. So getting in early on games does give you a massive advantage against people who enter later. And finally, gas fees. Now, if you've ever been on the Ethereum network, you'll know that gas fees are ridiculously high. This is basically a petrol for the crypto world, and that can really deter you away from buying any NFTs, playing any games, because it becomes really expensive to do so. So on that side of things, it's a real negative. What we do see though is other things like Binance Smart Chain. There are things like Polygon, Matic, I think. There is Cardia Chain. These are, some of them are more efficient and the gas fees are a lot lower. So as that happens, I think that negates that as being a negative, as long as it's built on those blockchains and not on the more expensive ones. Those are higher probably because there are more people on that network. Ethereum's been around for a long time. A lot of things are built on Ethereum. So in conclusion, there are a lot of pros and cons to both sides. However, I think the pros for cryptocurrency far outweigh in-game currency. The fact that you have real value to the things that you own, you can sell them when you want. When you switch onto from one game to another, you can take what you've earned from one game and put it into another. Long term, I think it's more financially stable for people to play games and incentivize people to get in early. The community aspect and communication that comes with crypto projects, I think is so much better and makes for a better game in the future. That's why I think crypto gaming will inevitably become the future of gaming. If you disagree, let me know in the comments section below. It'd be good to hear your feedback. If you're on board with it and you're already invested in crypto gaming, let me know any games that you pick out that you think are really good in the future. I might check them out and cover them on the channel and give a shout out for that, of course. But future games that I am interested in looking forward, just a few that we're going to be looking at is a game called My DeFi Pack, which is coming out in 2 weeks' time. We have Revomon, which is like a virtual reality Pokemon game. I think that's very much long-term in the pipeline, but I think if VR becomes more accessible, that's got real potential. There's Myst, which is like a RuneScape type game RPG. I'm looking forward to that and the NFTs in that. So we'll be covering other games as well, but those are what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks. Okay, well that's all for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like on the video. It always helps the channel out, and I want to build this channel up in the cryptocurrency gaming community, so help me to do that. It would be really appreciated. Hit subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to keep up to date with that content. Apart from that, that is all for this one. See you guys soon.